Good morning, everybody, and welcome to Recovery Classroom. My name is Drew. I am an alcoholic, and today I'm a recovering alcoholic, and I cannot be any more grateful. If you're local to the Huntington, West Virginia area tonight, 630 8th Avenue in Huntington, West Virginia, ladies only. Ladies only. Drinda will be starting our very first Crosstalk for Women's meeting down at the Point Cafe in Huntington tonight at 7 o'clock. I'm super excited about this. And then tomorrow night, 630 8th Avenue, same location, Point Cafe. Bell will be having the Open Pathways Crosstalk meeting tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. So I encourage you to go down and check out those meetings. Speaking of meetings, last night my schedule totally worked out to where I was able to go to a meeting that was like my staple meeting, especially early in my sobriety, man. And I hadn't been to this meeting for like a year. And sure enough, man, I walked in. It was just like a spiritual smorgasbord, just a wealth of knowledge. And just seeing these guys that I just totally admire and respect, especially in the rooms of recovery, man, it was just good to just sit and talk and share with them. And so I'm so thankful. I left that meeting and I started thinking about some things, and then I'm getting on the phone with a couple of different alcoholics. I was on the phone a long time last night. But this one recurring theme kept coming back up in my head. I spent years trying to get clean and sober, and I just never could. I was great at stopping. I was terrible at staying stopped. And at the end of the day, it came down to this. I just simply wasn't ready. I came in the rooms in 2013, heard them talking about this God, this creative intelligence of the universe, this higher power, and I was like, fuck that. Back out the door. Sober for like 4 years on my own self-discipline. Go Drew. Pride and ego there, right? And I finally relapsed in 2017. By 2018, I was drinking every single day again. I tried multiple times on my own to stop, and I could just never figure out why I couldn't stay stopped. I'd go 2 or 3 weeks without a drink. It's like, oh, I'm so good. I'm doing so good. I've finally figured out how to manage my drinking. And then next thing you know, I was back off to the races, off on another bender. I could just never figure it out. At the end of the day, it just came down to I just wasn't ready. I just wasn't ready. And it felt like there was nothing that was going to get me ready. In 2020, December 2020, they told me I had what they thought was an MI, a heart attack. And that wasn't enough to make me ready. In April 2021, my doctor told me, she said, if you don't turn shit around, you're probably not going to see 2022. And that still wasn't enough to make me ready. In June of 2021, I completely embarrassed and humiliated my children and my friends, and that still wasn't enough to make me ready. It still took time. At the end of the day, I just wasn't ready. I mean, plain and simple, I just wasn't ready to stop, and that's why I didn't stop. But see, it was easier for me to show people that I couldn't stop, to make people believe that I couldn't stop, rather than that I wouldn't stop. And there's a big difference there. See, if I led people to believe that I couldn't stop, well, that took the onus and the responsibility off of my shoulders. Matter of fact, that kept me in that victim role. Oh, gee, look at poor Drew. Man, I know he's tried so hard to stop, and he just couldn't stop. The addiction is such a powerful disease. That poor Drew. Took the onus off of me, took the responsibility off of me, and made me the victim. As opposed to me where I wouldn't stop. Well, see, that's different, because that implies me not choosing to not stopping. That implies that I have a choice. If I wouldn't stop, that means that I had a choice. And that the reason why I made the choice to not stop was because I just simply wasn't ready. Truth be told, I didn't want to get sober any earlier because, well, it was easier to play the victim. It was easier to have an excuse why I couldn't stop. Because again, it kept me in that victim role. It took the onus off of me. And I probably said that 40 times, said this 40 times last night in the one meeting I was in, and then the folks I was talking to on the phone after the meeting. When we do the things that we want to do, even when it's possible for us to not do those things, it's easy for my addiction, my pride and my ego to slide under my spiritual radar and drive selfish and dishonest motives. It's easy for me to fuck up whenever I do something I don't want to do, or whenever I do something I want to do. It's easy for me to have selfish and impure motives there. Whereas when we do something that we don't want to do, even though God has made every pathway available for us to do this thing that we don't want to do, that's when God starts working miracles. I can't tell you the number of times I said that last night. And see, by the time July of 2021 rolled around, I was ready to admit I just didn't want to get sober. but I knew I needed to. I didn't want to, but I knew I needed to. And see, that's how God started the miracle in my life, because I finally admitted I just don't want to get sober, but I know I need to. I stopped playing the victim. I stopped saying I couldn't, and I started admitting that I wouldn't. Started admitting that I didn't want to, that I started accepting responsibility was on my shoulders. And that's why I wouldn't get sober. I just wasn't ready. And when I finally admitted that, and even though God made every way possible, he cleared my path. I remember on my day 2, him saying, I want to see how serious you are. I'm going to remove all of your excuses. I want to see how serious you are. When he did that, and I knew full well I didn't want to, admitted full well that I didn't want to, but I saw the open path, I knew it was time that I take the bit in my teeth and I start trudging that journey. I knew it was time for old dad here to get sober. And that's when I finally became ready. And that's when I finally took action, was in July of 2021. And I'm thankful today. And that's the question I want to leave with you today. Are you ready? When you're ready, you let me know. When you're ready, you reach out. There's somebody there that's going to be willing to help you, just to sit and talk on the phone with you, just to sit and let you talk and share with them, just to sit and listen when you're ready. But you have to be the one to do it. See, all those times I tried to stop before, I couldn't stop because I just wasn't ready, because I just didn't want to. It was easier for me to play the victim. Is that where you're at? Is that where you're at right now? Where you can't understand why you've tried stopping in the past, but you just can't stay stopped? I get it. I was there. But at the end of the day, I just wasn't ready. And that's the question I want to leave with you today. Are you ready? So with that being said, I'll let you guys go. Thank you guys for letting me come in and share 5 to 10 minutes of your day with you. You guys absolutely keep me sober, and I could not be any more appreciative. If there's a topic you'd like to hear discussed on these monologues, feel free to reach out to us through the Facebook Instant Messenger, Recovery Classroom Instant Messenger. You can email us directly, Drew, D-R-E-W, at recoveryclassroom.org. I'll take a look at it and see what I can do. Again, being able to sit and have these conversations with you guys every morning, man, this keeps me sober, so I could not be any more thankful and grateful. So we'll be talking again soon. Remember, guys, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.